There are plenty of reasons to be a fan of Bluey. Have you ever noticed that one of those reasons is the vast amount of details and hidden secrets scattered throughout all the seasons of the show? For example, Flappy, that blue butterfly crucial in helping Chili find Frisky in the episode The Sign, had references long before the episode Slide, where Bingo and Leela save the caterpillar that eventually becomes the blue butterfly. Maybe you never noticed, but the clip that Coco wears isn't a flower, it's actually a blue butterfly. And believe it or not, it was always in Joe Brum's plans, the creator of Bluey, for the little blue butterfly to play an important role in the entire story, since if it weren't for her, the Heeler family home might have been sold, and there's a reason for that. One of the videos the creator of the Little Blue Dog produced before thinking about making children's cartoons is called Causes, and right at the beginning, we're introduced to Flappy. In the video, it shows how the simple flutter of a butterfly's wings can cause consequences and effects on the other side of the world. It's somewhat similar to what happens in Bluey, where a series of interconnected events eventually lead to the Heeler family not moving, much to our delight. These are just some of the hidden secrets in Bluey that most fans have no idea about. So check it all out with us and get ready, because Cinewave is starting.
Okay, let's go!
If you watch Bluey, you know that one of the things the girls love the most is unicorns. So much so that Muffin has a collection of them. Not to mention Unicorse, who is probably the craziest character in the entire series. But besides seeing the fantasy animal represented in toys, we also see it in other moments, like in the episode Surprise, where we see it hidden on the cover of a book on the shelf by the TV. It wasn't hidden well enough for our eyes to miss. This is one of the most hidden unicorn references I've ever seen. It only loses to the most recent reference we found in the minisode Hungry. When the short episode begins, we can see that Bluey herself is lying on the floor drawing something. And when we see Bandit pretending to swallow his own daughter, we get a better look at the paper and can identify that the drawing is indeed of a unicorn, once again referencing the girl's favorite animal. This one was definitely hard to spot. And since it's a very quick scene, we noticed that most Bluey fans didn't realize that in the episode Perfect, the Heeler's fridge is completely packed with references to other characters and episodes. For example, on the drawing at the top, we can see that one of the girls made a drawing of their cousins, Socks and Muffin. The older daughter of Stripe has an angry face, which definitely suits the little dog, who is quite stressed out. What's even cooler is that right next to the drawing of the cousins, we can spot a drawing that was undoubtedly made by Bluey, where we see a character that resembles Mia. That older friend of Bluey we met in the episode Barky Boats, who is in love with Captain, and he's in love with her too. And if you, like us, think this character should appear more often in Bluey, comment below with #Mia. As we mentioned, the fridge door is full of references to previous episodes. One of these episodes is Wagon Ride, where Bandit pulls his two daughters in a cart to the park so they can play. And it's that exact same cart we see in the drawing just below the one Bluey made, directly referencing one of the episodes from the first half of the animated series season from a few years ago. We can also see a drawing that was definitely made by Bingo this time, featuring the duck-shaped cake that Bandit struggled to make in the episode Duck Cake for Bingo's birthday, which was the next day in the series. And further down, we can see a drawing the girls made of Uncle Radley and Aunt Frisky, holding hands with little hearts above their heads, showing that they knew the two were truly in love. And we couldn't miss noticing the drawing of Unicorse, where we see once again the crazy puppet, which seems to be one of the two sisters' favorite toys. We know Bluey is distributed by Disney worldwide, and perhaps that's why, from time to time, we see some tributes in the Little Blue Dog series to some Pixar and Disney movies. One of these hidden tributes that few people have noticed happens in the episode Barnacus and Bumpy, where Bingo and Chili are in a hospital. And if you look closely on the wall, behind Bluey's younger sister, there's a drawing of a clownfish that is identical to Nemo from the 2003 movie Finding Nemo. This creates yet another Disney reference in the show that we all love so much. In that same episode, we see another hidden reference that nods to the world's biggest tech company, Apple. Bingo and Chili are watching the movie made by Bluey, her relatives, and some friends on a tablet. And we can notice that this tablet is a dog version of Apple's iPad, and instead of the company's Apple logo, we can see a logo that's a bone. Which couldn't be more fitting, especially in a society where only dogs exist. It really makes perfect sense. And another thing that makes perfect sense is for you to subscribe right now to the channel so you don't miss our next videos, which are posted every day. Since we were just talking about puppets, Unicorse isn't the only one the Heeler girls love. He's got competition from Bob Bilby, the little puppet that Bingo takes home for the weekend to have fun and take lots of cool photos with. We can see that the experience with the little puppet was so memorable that Chili and Bandit have a photo of their youngest daughter with Bob on one of the pieces of furniture near their bed. It shows that those moments were truly unforgettable. One of Bluey's friends who has been with her since she was just a little pup is Snickers, and there's one item he wears that's practically inseparable, his yellow cap. A lot of people don't realize it, but we only see the little dachshund without his cap twice. And one of those times is in the episode Explorers, where he's having a blast sliding down the hill at school. At that moment, we can see his cap falls off his head as he starts rolling. The other time we see him without his cap is in the mini-episode Canine News, where he's presenting a little pretend news broadcast, and to look more professional, he takes off his cap. But really, as his mom once said, it seems like he was born with that cap. Speaking of Bluey's school, we know it's not closing anytime soon. Even after Bluey finishes her studies there, we see that Bingo and her best friend Leela will also go to school there. This is confirmed by the photo we see at the end of the episode Dad Takes the Girls to School. After witnessing the beginning of Bingo and Leela's friendship, we see a sequence of photos that follows them into adulthood, showing that the two will study together all the way through college. In one of the photos in the background, we see Bluey's school, indicating that the two will go there together as soon as they turn 6, which isn't too far off since Bingo just turned 5. One of Bluey's newer classmates is Jack Russell, who ends up becoming Rusty's best friend. In the episode Explorers, we see that his dad has a hard time finding his way to his son's school since they are not from the area. We know the family's last name is Russell, and the animators decided to leave a little reference on the car's license plate, where we see the letters and numbers RUS 531. The 5 looks like an S, the 3 resembles an E, and the 1 is like a lowercase l. This creatively forms the family's last name, Russell. I've got to say, that's pretty clever. We all know that Bluey and Bingo's parents work, Chili at airport security and Bandit as an archaeologist. In Bandit's case, we can deduce this from his office, which is filled with artifacts. And from the episode Curry Quest, where we see him on a long trip of a month and a half doing a video call with his family, and it's clear that he's in a distant location. However, there's another clue that almost none of the viewers have noticed. In the last episode of the latest season of Bluey, when the little blue dog is pummeling Bandit with plastic balls, as he runs through the room, we can spot a painting where the healer patriarch is dressed in archaeologist gear, digging a hole at some kind of historical site. This is definitely one of the hardest Easter eggs to spot in Bluey. As we mentioned earlier, it's the little details in Bluey that make this show so special. One of these tiny details happens in the episode Slide, when Bingo is playing with Leela and she notices a little grasshopper on the water slide. She can't stop in time, but she manages to bounce her bottom over the insect without hurting it. What's most interesting about this is that Leela is running alongside her friend the whole time, but when she's about to hit the little bug, Minnie didn't notice that Leela closes her eyes to avoid seeing what she imagines will be a big accident. It's kind of like how kids actually act when they don't want something to happen. That's why I love Bluey so much. The show really captures how kids behave in the real world, and that's just awesome. Since we know you love watching cool videos, we picked out 2 of our best for you to check out. They're popping up on the screen right now, so just watch and your fun is guaranteed. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.